All right. Okay, so I don't know if you guys, the viewing audiences, realize this or not, but we're kind of a big deal. Yeah.
But Bob has to buy new pants.
Yes. What? No. No. We're generation. We're a big time blog
because FedEx was willing to deliver to your house. That actually is pretty much anyone.
I did have FedEx shoot at me once because they didn't like me.
All right then. So anyway, but since I'm whatever, we're big time bloggers now.
Okay.
I'm going with that. Otherwise, the wife will pull the plug.
Well then in that case,
we're big time bloggers.
We are king shit of fuck mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what that means is that FedEx Express, Wizards of the Coast sent us.
Whoa, what?
I don't know what that means.
I know exactly what that means, but I'm shocked it came out of John's mouth.
Well, isn't he the biggest blogger?
Paris Hilton?
No, that's Perez Hilton.
Perez Hilton.
Yeah, not Paris. Because I know exactly what it means with relation to what I just said. But, I mean, that's just slanderous.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to open up...
you just compared, like, the biggest blogger to Paris Hilton.
So we get free stuff.
Which means he'd have more money and should be happy.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say here is we get free stuff.
Oh, right. The point.
Yes, the point of this little video is that we get free stuff. So...
And this free stuff is
a
rat trap.
Okay, then.
Stop! Oh, God!
Okay, so Wizards of the Coast sent us... Wow, they sent us quite a few.
Yeah. So we officially have...
We can build
several.
Our own deck.
Yeah, we could build at least one. We could build our own deck. These are the Dungeons and Dragons Fortune Cards. Now, you can't buy these anywhere yet. Whoa.
So by the time we get this up, there's a fair chance you'll be able to.
But maybe not at your local store.
Yeah.
Because they may not.
They may not order them.
They may have been allocated.
But anyway, this is the Dungeons and Dragons Fortune Cards, the Shadow over Nentir Veil. Ooh, shiny.
Check that out.
Okay, now, Fortune Cards, you may ask. Anyway, okay, so this is Wizards of the Coast.
Now, hold on a second. Is this like the anti-cards that got them in trouble with gambling problems?
No. Because there were no, you're misreading what anti was.
Yeah, but they did. They had anti-cards that got them in trouble with the Nevada State Gaming Authority because it was considered gambling, which is why they had to stop having those. Just as an anyway. So what's this about though, Bob? Because I am fascinated by it.
Give me that. Okay, so basically, what is these fortune cards? Your Wizards of the Coast wants you to go out and buy these. It's 8 cards in a pack for the $4 a piece. $3.99 plus tax.
So 50 cents each.
So they're 50 cents a card, roughly. Okay. They want you to go out and buy these, and then use these to build...
So if you grind them up and sniff them, do you get high?
You would wish. But anyways, they're extra powers. Extra... I'm assuming, like, daily powers and counter powers, whatever.
They've kind of gone away from that with the newest versions of 4th Ed. They're kind of going to having... power points, which then charge up other stuff, and it's all like the psionic abilities. But whether or not these use that,
I don't know.
I do not know.
I don't know. But my point is,
I like the new version better.
My point is, this is what they do with Gamma World. Gamma World, the whole point of Gamma World really is not a role playing game in my opinion anymore. It's now the point of Gamma World is to go out and buy booster packs to support your little mutant powers or whatever.
Okay.
So
they found a way to, instead of just having you buy the handbook, and they released plenty of those.
Well, yeah, but even then, here's the thing. How often does a new book come out? Maybe once a year.
No, it's about once every. It's pretty close to once a month, but it's more like once every 2 to 3 months at this point.
Okay, but my point is that
it's usually for GM stuff, which means it doesn't sell.
My point is that they can crank out these booster packs.
Oh yeah,
and since they have a rarity, since you're going to get some cards that are more powerful than others, you're going to continue to buy them, and so that's an additional revenue stream for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
With But what my point is, for very little creative investment.
Oh, yeah.
So you can sit there and just spam out cards. I'm sorry, but it's not Magic. I haven't even opened these yet. Already, I'm kind of my going into this is that this is not.
We're doing that now, though, right?
Well, and the big problem I see also is that they are probably going to be powerful enough.
Yeah.
That if you don't have them, you're going to be at a disadvantage.
Well, except that you can't be at a disadvantage.
That's
this is a role-playing game.
It's a role-playing game, so you can't be at a disadvantage per se. But
you will feel like you suck. And that is like the ultimate disadvantage in a role-playing game.
Well, yeah, no. If your friend has it, and he rolls something, and he says, well, I'm going to play this card,
and
it adds whatever to my roll, or it gives me extra dice, or it does whatever.
And it'll probably just be a new ability. But let's see what they actually do, shall we? Before we continue bitching.
Okay.
All right, so we will now open the... We're apparently judging a game by its cover in this case.
Well, you know, this is what they gave them for our honest opinions, right? I'm going with that.
An initiative tracker. I'm not sure what that's for. Except, oh, okay, it lets you track your initiative. Right. Let's see.
Okay, here's what we got here. We have this card called a Tactic. The thing is, I can't tell what the rarity is. That's the thing.
It may
Diamond, Star, Circle. Circle's going to be your commons. Diamond's the uncommons. So my rare is Touch of Fate. Woo! Touch of Fate! Who's got the Touch of Fate?
You do.
Okay, so it looks like we have Attack, Defense, and Tactic.
Yes, my attack is Touch of Fate. Play when you miss every target with an at-will attack power. You gain a Stroke of Luck, which you can use any time before the end of the encounter. Use a Stroke of Luck to reroll any one attack roll, saving throw, or skill check you make. You can only have one Stroke of Luck at a time, and you cannot use it to affect the event of that granted it to you.
Holy crap, it's a lot of text.
Well, you know, they have to explain what the thing is until people get used.
Mine's pretty short. It's
your opponent loses next turn.
Tactic. Unfair advantage. I don't know if you can actually read that, but play when you or an ally knocks an enemy prone. One ally makes a basic attack against the prone enemy as a free action.
Okay, well that's not actually bad.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Okay, what I'm seeing, just my base instinct looking at these, is that, you know what? People are always looking for stuff to spend money on. They shouldn't be. But at the same time, you know what? There's nothing wrong with these cards. I mean, would I purchase them? No. But there's nothing wrong with them. They're fine. They're flavor text for your character. Lets you do a little bit more stuff, whatever.
But you shouldn't have to pay for that. Every single thing here, every single thing. Play at the start of your turn, gang up, blah 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 blah. Wear a shot. All of these could be existing powers in an existing book, and you're going to get me to pay $30 for that book. That's the way it should be. There should not be a rarity collectability thing involved.
You understand that within like 3 days of these cards being out, they will be online.
That's what I'm saying.
People will print them off if they don't want to pay for the cards, and then they will just use them as they choose.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter, because people will steal what they do not feel is worth it. Some people will buy them because some people will get pack fever for them. Because that's just the way that collectible card games work.
Right. I know.
But they are never going to be worth anything because the internet has rendered...
That's my point. My point is
well, yes, but your point seems to be is that it's unfair to the players, and it's not unfair to the players.
No. My point is that it's very transparent what they're trying to do.
Yes,
they are trying to essentially steal what makes Magic the Gathering, or bastardize, I guess, what makes Magic the Gathering what it is, which is the only thing fueling that game is its collectability. And the fact that they have the tournaments with lots of money or whatever, but
and it's fun and
whatever.
There's some other stuff.
But you cannot blend a collectible card game with a role playing game. I'm sorry, but role playing game to me is pure, and you can't.
It is pure and good.
Now perhaps stepping outside of the box, because I don't really understand how it works, and I'm not a World of Warcraft person. How does the World of Warcraft cards work, though? Isn't that kind of taking a online role-playing game, and then there's things that you get in the packs that affect?
It's taking an online game. There's no role-playing.
No, there's no role-playing online.
Okay. But, okay. The thing with World of Warcraft is that the cards that you actually get don't affect the game, except for a handful of scratch-off cards that you can get.
Right, but are those incredibly rare?
Oh yeah. James, my friend James, got one, sold it for over $600 on eBay.
Yeah. But that's your incentive.
And it gets you. And what does it get you? A spectral tiger mount.
Yeah. But
the only way you can get it is to get that card.
Right.
And it's badass looking, I have to admit.
Well,
did he then take the $600 and buy $600 more of packs?
No.
Okay.
No, he I don't know what he did with the money, but he did not buy $600 worth of packs.
But anyways, it's like,
I hope. I guess I don't know that. Maybe he did.
So yeah, you're trying to find a diamond ring in a Cracker Jack box.
Or, win the lottery.
Or whatever.
You win the lottery, you spend all the money trying to win the lottery again.
Okay, but look at these, common defense ones. Whoops. Play when an attack knocks you prone. Whoop-de-ding. This card did not need to exist. So it's just not going to...
Yep.
Did not have insurance.
Beat feet. Play at the start of your turn. During this turn, you can take a move action to move.
So the problem is that it's trying to focus on us.
I don't care. I'm trying. The point is, this whoops or whatever could have had a slightly different title, and what could have been any, at will rogue power.
Your bitterness is sad, Bob.
No, I'm just saying. I'm all for what it's your property, make money or whatever but this is not the way to do it.
What I'm wondering is, rules wise, are you able to play one card a turn? Is it a randomized thing, or do you have a hand?
They actually
tell us.
They actually send you a little.
That's useful.
Yes. Here's how this goes. Okay, you can use all the cards of one or more boosters in your deck. So you apparently don't have a limit to how many you stack. So just go out and buy as many as you want.
Make sure to get them all.
Yeah, get them all. Get all 80 and just put them in a big frickin' pile. Seriously. Okay, at the start of each encounter, shuffle your deck and draw a card. You can play one card per round. Okay. It requires no action to play. I don't know. The turns turns are divided up into minor and small actions. Oh, okay. So I just get a freebie.
As long as you have the card.
As long as you have the card. As long as you're going to pay $4 to get that extra little free action. The rules in each card state when you can play it and what effect it has. A card takes effect just once, unless it states otherwise, and you discard the card when its effect ends. Fine. You can have only one fortune card in your hand at a time. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. At the start of each of your turns, you can do one of the following. Discard the card in your hand, draw a new one. Draw a new card if you don't have one in your hand. Or keep the card that's in your hand if you haven't yet played it. So that's pretty simplistic. Let's see here. You can also build and play with your own customized deck of fortune cards. Each card in the Shadow over an Interior Veil set, belongs to one of three categories: attack, defense, or tactics. The card's face displays its category. A custom fortune card deck contains any multiple of 10 cards, 10, 20, 30, and so on. So for every 10 cards in your deck, you must have at least 3 cards in each of the 3 categories. Okay, whatever.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So you can't just load up on all
tactics. All tactics.
Yeah. So there is an FAQ. You can go to dungeonsanddragons.com/fortune cards.
So
I don't know.
4, 5.
Okay.
So if you just but wait. So you can just play with a pack though, and the pack.
No, the pack is only 8 cards.
Yeah. But you can just play with a pack.
Oh, sure.
It says you can just play with a pack.
Right.
This pack is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tactics and 2 defense and 1 attack.
Okay.
So, could you not claim that you had gotten a pack that was all attack cards?
Well, I suppose. I mean,
you could just. The thing you can just lie. So the having the thing where it's like it has to be in multiples of 10. When a pack is only 8, it should be in multiples of 8, or it should be in multiples, or they should give you 10 cards in a thing.
No, because they're assuming that you're custom building it. That you will have multiple packs.
What I think it really comes back to, we already talked about it, but people are just not going to buy the cards. So if they don't buy them, if they go online and print out whatever it is, the 10 that are the best, then every player is on a level playing field, and it's just an added step to the game.
Honestly,
to the role-playing environment.
From what I know of people who play 4th edition, they'll eat this shit up. To be honest.
Right, well, it's because 4th edition is like a video game.
Yep.
And this is just one extra
it's another
button to press.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They'll eat it up. Because it's another thing for them to do. The game is almost expressly no good for role-playing. It is a lot of fun to play if you want to play a tactics game.
Right.
It can be a lot of fun to play. But in terms
Which is why my friends and I are playing 2nd edition right now.
But if you want to role play, no, it's just not designed to encourage that.
Yeah.
So this is a new expansion for the game.
I would also like to point out that I did not include these two in when I said my friends and I.
Yeah, we are not involved because he said no, you can't play.
Yeah, we begged.
Role players only. Role players only.
How many nights do you role play, Bob?
A week. Every night. That's why I got the high def webcam. Goddamn, this says.
Okay, here.
Get a grip.
Fitting,
very fitting. Get a grip. So,
I think that from a marketing standpoint, it's brilliant.
From a marketing standpoint, it's brilliant. They're going to make bazillions of goddamn dollars, and more power to them.
Yep.
And you know what? Thanks for sending me the free shit.
Yeah.
You know, but I have to say that I don't like it. Now, granted, I'm a fuddy-duddy. I've been playing D&D since it was AD&D. 30 whatever years ago. I don't know. I don't like the fact that they did it with Gamma World. I don't like the fact that they're blending the genres, for lack of a better word.
They're penetrating the bureaucracy.
I don't like the fact they're doing it. It enhances the game in a very minor way, but it enhances their bottom line in a huge way, and I think that is a mistake.
Well, I think that's a brilliant.
It's a brilliant corporate strategy, yes, but as far as it cheapens the game. I'm sorry, but it cheapens the game.
But I think that they have already done that with everything from the
pretty much the 3.0
the power cards
on,
to having manuals for every single individual thing instead of just a take-home set that you have everything.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. You need with 4th edition, you need 2 books in order to play 4th edition just as well as anyone is ever going to be play it, no matter how many. You need the Monsters Manual, and you need the Player's Guide. You do not even need the DM's Guide unless you've never DM'd before. You need 2 books. That's it. 2. Just 2.
Yeah, I know. And all the rest of it's flavor text.
Everything else is fluff. You do not need
and
it.
So are these.
Yep.
And if you treat it like that, if you treat it like this is just extra stuff, but we don't have to have it, then I'm fine with that.
Well, it is.
I know that, but
the thing is
it's a dangerous precedent.
The GM will either say, yes, you can use these, or no, you can't, and people will share the cards they aren't using.
Yeah,
because it can't. It's not the same as a collectible card game in the sense of I can't share these because you're using them with your friends, and it's against something else. So unless the GM is being a total douche and he gets to use them and you don't, which honestly with some of the creatures would actually make them a little more viable.
I just wonder, like, their in-store events or whatever, if, I don't know how all the sanctioning goes.
The D&D encounters type events or whatever.
Right. But if they're
free-for-alls. I mean...
So would you have to have officially licensed D&D
Yeah, you would
cards?
have to play by the rules there. Yeah.
And so in those circumstances, there might be someone who, right now it's a rare, but who knows, maybe they'll go to mythic rarity, and there's going to be some great card that if you had 3 of those in your 10-card pile,
you'd freaking own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
A huge advantage, and that's where you don't want it to head. Right now, it seems fairly harmless.
I don't want it to head where people are spending $80 to get a rare card to play D&D. You know what I mean? The books are expensive enough.
Oh, I know that.
D&D isn't expensive. Magic's even more expensive, obviously. If you combine the two, you're breaking the pocketbook of a lot of people, and you're damaging the game. You're cheapening the game. I don't know. Granted, I don't ever have to use these. I don't ever have to play with anybody who uses these. But I don't know. It just sets a very bad precedent.
The precedent
to be coming in and saying we no longer care about the game. We care about what it does for our pocketbook, because that seems to be this seems to me a very crass, not very inspired, way to sucker people into buying cards because they have a rarity and a perceived value that isn't there. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Okay. We have a new rating system here on GenerationD20.com, which is, of course, a D20.
A giant green D20.
I think this actually killed Superman.
And if he's not dead yet.
Yeah. He's going to wish you. So, on a scale of 1 to 20, ladies and gentlemen, and yes, you can sort that out amongst yourselves, how would you rate the Dungeons & Dragons Fortune Cards that go on sale Tuesday, February 8th? How would you rate them?
Okay, so hold on. Are we doing multi-rating, or are we doing a single rating for everything?
We each do a rating.
Well, no, I mean, are we...
Just pick a number.
You're saying an overall rating versus, like...
Versus from a...
How do you feel about it? That's what it means.
Okay.
Strictly, how do you feel?
That's fine. I just needed to know how we were doing it. Many
Okay.
options were discussed.
I'll go ahead.
Go.
I feel I'm going to give it a 7. I don't think it's destroying the game. It's not the end of the world. I don't think it's a great idea and something that was needed. But I'm not totally against it, and I can see how some people really do. They'll be happy because there's one more item that's getting released that they're interested in that they can go and purchase and talk to their friends about.
Okay.
Okay.
George.
I'm actually going to give it a 12. Conceptually speaking, I think that it's not bad. Would I use it? No. But I know a lot of people that'll think it's pretty badass. And so, well, I'm ambivalent towards it. I don't hate it. And, yeah, it's fine. We'll see how it actually goes.
Actually, I'm also giving it a 7. For much the same reason. Actually, I'm going to do this so John does not have a head. I'm so angry. 7. I'm probably Adrian man. Anyway, so it's late.
Wow.
Whatever. Point is, for similar reasons, I don't think it will destroy 4th edition because
you can't destroy 4th edition.
Well, because
it destroyed itself.
Because quite frankly, I enjoy 4th edition, but I enjoy it for what it is. Okay, and for what it is it's one step short of a video game. And all this is one extra button on that video game hot bar down there. Okay? And that's all it is. That said, I'm not going to try and force other people to play the way I want them to play. I want them to just be aware that I think it's a bad precedent to send. I think the quality of the game will eventually degrade because of it. That's just me.
Well, that's what they tune in for, to get our opinions.
Yep, that's all it says. It's just our opinions. Could be completely wrong.
And thanks for sending the stuff.
But yeah, no, I appreciate the fact that we had the opportunity that they, like, hey, they're giving a bunch of morons like us the chance to go and take a look at this stuff. And
they are. I will say this: the cards are well enough produced.
Yeah,
they don't
feel quality.
Well, sure,
they don't.
They have to give them that. I mean, yeah, they're not. It's not like
they don't feel like crap. You could totally shuffle these.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I have to give it. I'm sorry, but I have to give it the caveat is that we haven't played with these because we're doing it just fresh out of the box. This is a first impression. So our next step, I guess, would be to actually play around with a couple of. We've got 4 decks worth. So we've got 32 cards. We could each do a 10-card deck or something, and actually go through and see how it affects combat or what.
And what I would think with that also is if they had sent it as a list,
right?
If they had sent us a sheet that we could pick 10 of those from to use with our character instead of presenting it as a collectible card game type of thing, we might have a very different response to it.
If this here, how about this? I'll throw this out there. If you guys were charging, say, $12.99 or whatever, or maybe even like $14.99 for an ebook that had all of these abilities in it, 80 things for like $15, I'd buy it. Because that's a supplement, that's not a rarity collectible card game thing.
So what I mean? Or if it was perhaps $20, you get a box of 80 cards.
Right, where you're... Yeah. It's not that we're against the card, we're against the collectible the rarity.
I'm against the collectability of it.
Right, so if you get one of each card. You buy it.
Yeah,
you buy
like a box.
It comes as a card. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Or if they wanted to make it cheaper, or whatever, they sold like the first 20 or so or 30 or so or whatever, and this didn't like chunks like that.
Sure.
I can see that, but the fact that you even have like a theme name to it, which just means it's going to be constant.
Well, it's gonna,
and I'm sorry, but none of these abilities really stand out so far.
Well, we didn't really read them all either.
Although I have to admit, this one I just randomly picked up. It's called Boom, Not in the Face. Yeah, so when an enemy attacks you with combat advantages when you play it, you do not grant combat advantage.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, and for getting it for nothing. These are just added.
I know, but
now that said, I will say
it's 4 color
that when you got. I used to play a game called, so did John actually, Raw Deal, which is a wrestling-based collectible card game.
Right, I think I played it.
Raw Deal, hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Until they introduced the beginning of the match cards and the mid-match cards, which sat at the side of your ring, and you played them.
Okay.
And the problem was there were a handful of cards. They slowed the game down immensely. It went from being a 5 to 15 minute game every time, and it was quick and it was a lot of fun, to being half-hour, hour-long games because you couldn't get rolling because you had these cards, and there were a handful of cards that were just these were the cards you played with. Everything else that you got that would normally sit out there was junk, and you never used it. And
that's what will
happen with this.
Right.
And the sad thing is, it'll probably with the rare cards. It'll probably be a handful of commons, and those are the things which, but if I use these, then I can cancel their ability, which is what kills me. Which is what it was in Raw Deal. It was the card which canceled. It was a reversal that sat at your ringside, so you always had one. So you try and do something cool to cancel you. And it was just every freaking time.
Well, anyway, we're gonna wrap this up.
That killed me. Done.
We're gonna wrap this up. Maybe I'll get a hankering. And
so you know what? With that in mind, I'm gonna take mine down to like an 8.
Now they're brought up those.
Oh man, fuck them.
Okay, well,
good night.
Okay, yeah. So that's it. So anyways, thanks Wizard of the Coast for at least letting us review it, even though we didn't like it. Sorry.
Bringing back unpleasant memories.
Yep. But so let us know what you think. Comment.
Kill it before 30.
Yeah, I kill it with 430.